Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, let's get the obvious out the way. I'm dressed up as an anime character. You may wonder why. Well, if you want to find out why, come and join my Twitch channel sometime. There'll be links down in the description below. And if you want to join my other social medias as well, they'll be down below as well. This video today is a small, simple guide on how to make quick and efficient platinum. Now, there are many ways within Warframe to earn platinum, most of which revolve around traipsing through the marketplace. But in today's video, we're going to go over certain elements you can take advantage of to make lots of platinum, or at least a marginal amount of platinum, for a new player that might not know how or the best ways to make platinum. The first things that you need to know is that this will revolve around the use of the marketplace and certain third-party websites. We'll sort of look more into those in a little bit. But for the most part, these are just ways that I have found that work well. There are definitely other ways of earning platinum through Warframe as well. Otherwise, you would be looking at using the marketplace and discounts to buy platinum for real money. And obviously, for not everyone, that's not going to be the best way of getting platinum, because not everyone has disposable income to use. First things first, what is platinum? What is it in Warframe, and how do you get it? We're not really going to look too much into the finesse of what platinum truly is, but platinum is essentially the premium currency within Warframe that is obtainable by purchasing it through the Steam store. You go to the marketplace, it'll take you to either Steam on their website, and then it'll ask you to fill out a bunch of information. Obviously, this is for real life money, but thankfully, Warframe gives plenty of opportunity for earning platinum by only playing the game. And to me, this is one of the biggest facets that makes Warframe as easily accessible as it is, because even as a Mastery Rank 1 player, you are able to earn platinum in Warframe in quite an easy manner, just by playing the game. So there's no element of pay for win, there's no element of putting real life money to give you distinct advantages over everyone else. It's more about just paying for convenience within Warframe. Before we look at the methods of earning platinum, let's just quickly look at how you earn platinum. You're going to be taking advantage of this window right here. This is the marketplace and trading segment of the Warframe chat function. It's old, it's archaic, it's not very functional, but it's the only way you can really earn platinum within Warframe without selling your soul to third-party softwares. And that, I tell you now, will get you banned very quickly. So, there's a couple of things you can do with the marketplace that will make it much easier for you to work around and function through. There is a filter function within the trade channel on Warframe. You can put in keywords that will filter out things like want to buy, want to sell, so you'll only see the things that are relevant for you. So if you want to buy something, you would put in the filter of want to buy, and then you will only see the text messages that will have want to buy in it, meaning that you will then only see the stuff you would like to buy. Similar thing with wanting to sell, you can then put that in there as well, and it will mean that you can filter through the stuff you do and don't want to see. When it comes to selling on the marketplace, do not be put off by the fact that it will take a while to sell stuff. In certain cases, it is all about the case of demand and necessity. Some things are not in demand and may take longer to sell. Some things may even take you a couple of days or weeks to sell. Anything that is not easily obtainable or not in high demand could easily take up to a couple of weeks to shift. But the thing is, it's all about trial and error. Sometimes you may price something a bit high, sometimes you may price something a little low, but it's all about persistence. The more you do it, the more chance of selling something you will. And sometimes it could just revolve around the right people may not be watching. So some things to look at with the marketplace. When you want to sell something, so for example, if I wanted to sell a ribbon, to link an item into a chat, you need to use open bracket and type the name. So for example, if I wanted to sell an arcane energize, for example, I would open it up, type in the name, and then you can tab through whichever items there are. Same for ribbons. You would then put it in, you would ask for the price, and then you'll wait to see if anyone actually buys it. Obviously, in this case, no one will, because no one in their stupid mind would actually want to buy an Arcane Energize for 200 million platinum, because that would just make them stupid. But there are other avenues that you can follow as well. There are a couple of third-party websites that are in no relation related to Warframe at all. You have Warframe Marketplace, which there'll be a little thing up there for it, and there is also Riven Marketplace. Both of these websites have avenues that you can follow that allow you to have other access to selling and buying things within Warframe. I'm not going to go into the facets of how they work individually. I would instead recommend that you check them out for yourselves, see how they work, see if they're right for you. But those are just other avenues that you can take to try and take advantage of making some extra platinum in Warframe. So let's start looking at certain ways that you can start earning items within Warframe to get you platinum. So there's a couple of really obvious things that are really going to stick out right off the bat. there are things such as rare mods, sculptures, all that kind of thing, and these are the things we're going to look at. So the first thing I'd like to point out are things we've covered in other guides. First of all, you have Lure. Lure, we did a guide on where you have the challenge rooms, which will have a little thing up here showing you what you got to do. The challenge rooms drop drift mods. These are small mods that can be put into the Excellence Adapter mod in your Warframe. These mods do not sell for a tremendous amount of platinum, but some of them, for example, Power Drift, Cunning Drift, Agility Drift, they can all sell for small amounts of platinum. And the great thing about Lure is it's very easy to do. You don't need keys, you don't need to do anything for it. You just go into a mission, you find the rooms, and if you get things like Speed Drift, that's instantly 12 to maybe 15, even sometimes 20 platinum, depending on who's buying and who's doing what with the marketplace. The great thing about Lure is it's accessible once you've done the second Dream and Nata, so it's super early in the game, doesn't take too much to get to, and you can farm it all day, every day. And the great thing about Lure missions is that, the great thing about the Drift mod, is that everyone always wants to buy them, because they are like essentially small mods that have small capacity but improve small amounts, allowing you to min-max in a very finite way. And because of that, it's a very simple way of earning small amounts of platinum as you play the game. In a similar asset to that, you have the Orkin Derelict Vault. Now, we did another guide on this quite recently as well, which there'll be another bit of stuff up there for it. The Orkin Derelict is a random vault that appears within most of the missions on the Derelict. I'm not going to go into too much detail about how this works, because we already have a video on it, so go check that video if you want to. The Orkin Derelict will spawn a vault within which you will have the corrupted mods. Things like Narrow-Minded, Blind Rage, Transient Fortitude. These will handily sell for 20, maybe even 30 platinum at a good time. This is very easy to do. All you need to do is make the keys to make sure you are able to do this mission. And when you go in, you need to then have the dragon keys equipped. And as of a recent patch, you are now able to hold all 4 keys at one time. So you can now solo this without even much effort. So you can essentially keep doing this indefinitely so long as you're able to make the dragon keys to open the doors. And even if you get 1 or 2 of the mods that are worth a small amount of platinum, this again is a very simple and easy way of earning platinum that doesn't really take that much effort. It just requires you to then shift them and keep an eye out for who's actually buying them. Moving on, we then have primed junk, or prime items in general. Now this is more of a go figure moment, but it has to be said. The prime items are one of the main ways you're going to earn platinum within Warframe. Earning prime items through opening relics will give you multiple prime items like the Paris Prime Lower Limb, etc, etc. Now, each of these items will have different values, but something that you may not be aware of is people will buy the utmost garbage prime items to then sell for ducats. Now, the way you judge what is prime junk is, generally speaking, if it's unvaulted, it's easily obtainable, and it's stupidly low high drop chance, something like Paris Prime Lower Limb, for example. If it's a vaulted item, you wouldn't really consider it prime junk because it's still hard to get and people would still pay more for it. You have to use your personal awareness and understanding of the market to understand which ones would be then considered prime junk. But it's pretty straightforward. If it's very easily obtainable, if you know that there's a lot of it and it's not vaulted, it is junk. And people will spend 3 to 4 platinum per prime junk, and these things will shift so incredibly quickly. People are always after prime junk so they can make ducats. On that note as well, and we might as well tie this in as well, vaulted prime items will always sell for more. And if you start infusing your relics to make them flawless, so you start getting the golden items, these will always sell for a larger amount of platinum because they are just rarer, therefore the demand for them is higher. And it's always based on the item as well. If you get an item like, say for example, Banshee Prime items. Banshee Prime is not the biggest used frame, so her value is not as high as other frames. However, if you get, for example, Chroma Prime is widely used, and Chroma Prime pieces would then probably sell for more than Banshee Prime. Again, it can depend on the day, it can depend on how the market's looking, it can entirely depend on who's actually wanting to buy them. But farming prime items is a very good way of earning platinum within Warframe, mostly because people are always buying prime items. Now, there are a load of mods in Warframe. Hundreds of thousands, in fact. But there are a few that will sell for a huge amount of platinum. There are certain mods that come from events, such as the Acolyte event. The Acolyte event is something that comes around once every year, generally speaking, every 9 months, where you have to fight the Acolytes, and the mods that come from them are very unique to those to this event. So these things will generally sell for a lot of platinum because people are always after them. Things like Maiming Strike, Argon Scope. Rare mods are a finite resource that you can then use to sell for lots of platinum, especially if you hold onto them to allow their value to appreciate. There are also maps within Warframe that will drop rare mods through them as well. As a prime example, Uranus has Condition Overload. Condition Overload is a mod that only drops from the Grineer butchers that spawn within these missions. They have a stupidly low drop chance, meaning it's very rare that you're going to find one. However, if you do get one, Condition Overload specifically can sell anywhere between 50 to 80 platinum depending on the market. And something to keep in mind is that the market does tend to deviate somewhat between PC and console, so you kind of got to use your own inspiration with this, but when it comes to Condition Overload, this has a stupidly low drop chance from Ophelia. You also have things like Bite that comes from Kubros on Earth. Finding rare mods can make a very big difference in how much platinum you earn, and especially the rarer ones, they will always sell for a lot more. You can alternately take advantage of the transmuting element from your foundry as well. Transmuting mods gives you a small percentage chance of getting rare mods from it as well. Again, it is a very low chance, but it does happen. So my recommendation, I did also cover this in my modding guide, if you convert 4 golden mods by using the transmute segment, you actually have a very high chance, the highest of chances when it comes to transmuting, of getting a rare mod from it. It could be anything from Toxic Flight to Condition Overload to Bite. It can happen. It's a good way of recycling mods that you may not want. Going into mods as well, which then will handily tie over to the next subject we're looking at as well, syndicates. Syndicates, these lovely things here, these guys will sell mods and items for specific frames and weapons that are a variation on their default self. So for example, if we take a look at New Loka, Loka sells mods and augments for specific frames, as do all of the syndicates. And the great thing is, because you can't always get positive reputation with every single syndicate, people are always going to be looking for the syndicate mods that they don't have access to. So you can look at trading, or just straight up selling them on the marketplace. Again, these aren't going to sell for any tremendous amount, but it is another good way of taking advantage of the amount of reputation you earn whilst playing the game. And likewise, the weapons therein also sell for platinum, as well as the captura scenes. So taking advantage of syndicates, trying to get as many positive syndicates up as possible is always a good thing. And it is possible to get 4 syndicates in a positive standing as possible. It is possible to get 4 syndicates in a positive standing at one time. However, that is a very long-winded method, and that is not something we're going to look at in this video. That might be something we look down at later down the line. But it's the same with all of them. They all sell different weapons, they all sell between each other, and it's another good avenue for earning platinum. As another thing in terms of mods, you also have Rivens. Rivens are a very diverse way of earning platinum, and this is a very wonky thing to look at, because this is very, very subjective on what Rivens you get. The way you determine the value of a Riven is based on the popularity of the weapon, based on the stats that that Riven then has. So if a Riven rolls stats that are relevant for that weapon, it's very likely that you're going to get the, more platinum for that weapon. If a weapon is a all-star weapon, that weapon is more likely to sell for more. Certain Rivens will sell for nothing because people don't use them. The Rivens will only generally sell if they are actually in demand. And this is the biggest example of where demand and need will actually show you how much that Riven is worth. There are a lot of websites that will give you good examples of how much this is worth, but a lot of this just comes down to determination and figuring out how much this is worth in your own mindset. Websites like Semlar, Riven Marketplace can give you good estimations, but there is no guaranteed way of finding out how much a Riven is worth, because the price of a Riven is based on who wants the Riven. And because every single Riven is going to be different no matter what you do, you have to find that butter zone of how much that Riven is going to be worth. Unveiled Rivens, so the Rivens that have not had their challenges completed, can also be sold for platinum. So if you don't want to risk unveiling a Riven that might sell for less than the unveiled Riven itself, then you can just sell the unveiled Riven straight up and people will always buy them. So when it comes to Rivens, be very careful. It's sort of down to your judgment what you do with them, but there's a lot of platinum potential. Some god tier Rivens, like Rubico for example, can sell upwards of 2,000 platinum if they get the right roll. We then have AYATAN treasures. Now, AYATAN treasures are a wonder. These will spawn in missions randomly, as well as also being a reward from the sorties. Now, AYATAN sculptures right off the bat are not worth that much. However, when you fully install AYATAN stars into them, it improves the overall value of the sculpture, and you can sell sculptures for about 10 to 12 platinum depending, and they will always shift, because this is one of the only ways you're able to trade endo between different players, so people are always after cheap and easy ways of earning endo. Fully charged sculptures always sell for more, and you can in theory also sell the individual stars as well. So always keep your eye out within missions. If somebody marks a sculpture, grab it. That is free platinum right there for you. Something to also be said about AYATAN sculptures. Maru from Maru's Bazaar will give you a quest once a week to allow you to earn a free AYATAN sculpture. It's just another avenue you can take to earn sculptures, and this sculpture can be random as well. You'll basically be told to go to the Void or the Arcane Derelict, do a puzzle, and then you'll get the sculpture. Quick and easy, simple and plain to do. You'll be sent to Maru's Bazaar to talk to her, then she'll send you off, and then you do that thing. It's nothing too hard to deal with, but if you need help jumping, I would recommend taking Zephyr or potentially either Loki or something that can do jumps, because a lot of the puzzles usually involve jumping a lot. Another good way of earning platinum, and probably one of the most consistent ways of earning platinum based on your skill level, are Eidolons. Eidolons spawn at nighttime. We have a guide specifically dedicated to showing you how to fight them, so I'm not going to go into how you fight them, but Eidolons are very skill-based, and depending on how you go in and how efficiently you fight them, the more Eidolons you kill, the more platinum you earn. Eidolons drop things called arcanes, and arcanes are essentially item enchantments. These item enchantments can be installed on your frame as little boosts to your frame, or they can be sold for platinum. Now, something to keep in mind is that capturing an Eidolon has a much higher chance of giving you good arcanes, and arcanes always sell, because when an arcane reaches full level, once 10 of the same arcane have been installed into itself, it then gives you a bonus revive. So even some of the garbage arcanes, will sell for a good number of platinum. And the best arcanes, which only come from the Hydralist, once you've captured the Hydralist, will also sell for lots of platinum. Arcane Grace, Arcane Barrier, and Arcane Energize sell for the most. Arcane Energize is the highest valued, usually averaging at about 200 platinum. Arcane Grace sells for about 150 to 100 platinum depending. And these can be obtained very quickly, and if you are very efficient, you can kill multiple sets of Eidolons in a single night. So this is an avenue you can take advantage of, assuming you have the preparation enough to do that. Another good way of earning platinum: bounties and alerts. The alerts have aura mods that will every now and again spawn on a rotation. Some will spawn less optimally than others, less frequently than others, and some will spawn a lot frequently. Things like corrosive projection, rifle amp, energy siphon, for example. All of these mods can be used for yourself, but they can also be sold. Much like the mods you would then gain from Cetus or from Fortuna, mods from alerts are another good way of earning platinum. They're not going to sell for a tremendous amount, but certain ones will very handily sell for 10 to 15, maybe even 20 platinum. And you may be seeing a bit of a trend happening here. None of this is going to sell for lots. You have to put in a lot of effort to earn platinum without paying for it. Digital Extremes have done a very good job of incentivizing buying platinum enough to the point where you want to, but not incentivizing enough to make it mandatory. Buying platinum with money should be something you do on your own prerogative. However, they have given you plenty of avenues within Warframe to earn platinum yourself. Okay, and finally, there are a bunch of other ways of earning platinum within Warframe. Buying and selling fish. You can go to the open world environments and sell materials, but really this all comes down to personal preparation. Some of these things that we've looked at, in my eyes, are the best ways of earning platinum. There are definitely more, however, this is just a beginner's introduction to some of the better ways of earning platinum. Explore Warframe. Everything within Warframe, generally speaking, will have some element of earning you platinum. The more you play the game, the more platinum you earn. Hopefully this guide has been somewhat informative, and if you have liked it, do leave a like, maybe even subscribe to the channel, and drop by our Twitch channel sometime. You might find something you enjoy. I promise I don't wear this all the time. Anyway, thanks for watching, see you in the next video, or see you in the stream, and I'll see all you tap hatters next time. Ta-ra!